to Down the Vent. Today we are playing our first game of Kingdom Death Monster. I am Joe, and I am playing the character here. I have dubbed Neth. This is Josh.
I'm playing Moses.
Moses, the old man.
Moses. 5 and 6.
Alright. And then we have Matt.
I'm Matt. I'm playing Charlene. I was going to name her Big Tits McGee, but that was frowned upon.
By Joe.
I was good with it. Everybody else on the other side.
And here we have Steve.
And I'm playing Bargoth, who is here, looking stately and mannerific.
So, we'll go through the beginning story of Kingdom Death, that way everyone's on the same page. And it starts with a little story. Once upon a time, there was a place of carved stone faces. A man with a lantern lay sleeping in a dreamless sleep. The man knew nothing. One day, the man woke up. He rubbed the dried ink caked over his eyes and opened them. Around him, he saw other people stirring, and beyond, a horizon of unbroken darkness. A woman approached the man with the lantern. Her soft hand reached out to him. They had no words. They were a mystery to each other. Suddenly, a monster emerged from the darkness, its eyes wild with hunger. It attacked!
It's like a storybook.
Yeah. The people were no match for the monster. It tore their flesh and crushed their bones between its teeth.
Wow, somebody lost an arm.
Yeah. Some it devoured whole.
Do you read this to Jonah before he goes to bed?
Every night. Overcome with terror and grief, the man with the lantern collapsed to the ground. Cold stone noses pushed into his side. There was no escape. Cold stone noses. But the man did not want to die. Desperately grasping at the cold stone faces, he felt a crack and tore at it with all his might. A piece of stone came free. It was sharp and deadly. He's angry. The man with the lantern scrambled to his feet, his weapon clenched in his fist. He took a deep breath and roared into the darkness.
Roar.
Perfect. So realistic.
So realistic. Somewhere in the place of stone faces, nameless men and women stand together. They have nothing but a need to survive and a lantern to light their struggle.
If they're nameless, why did we have to name them?
Well, that's the whole part, is now they are named.
So, we are playing the first story. This is the prologue of the beginning game. We are trying to kill the White Lion because we woke up and he's there trying to kill us. So, kill or be killed. That's pretty much what this is. We've all created our survivors. We start with 1 survival, which is we'll explain later on once we get to use it. 1 armor to our waist because we have a cloth. And then we also have our founding stones that we start with. That's pretty much it. Pretty basic beginning stuff. I will be the monster controller.
For the first round.
For the first round only. Which means that when we flip over the AI card, I get to decide, make the decision pretty much if there's multiple people he can attack. And
If you decide to attack yourself, you get insanity or
that's
something.
right. If you are the monster controller and you target your own character, you gain 1 insanity because you're cray-cray.
Right.
And that's about it. So I guess we will start. The lion goes first, correct? In this first round.
Yeah.
So
what's the win condition? Kill the lion?
the win condition is kill the lion. To do so, he has these AI cards. Whenever we do damage, we'll remove 1. Once all of his AI cards are left, we do 1 more damage to him.
Right.
Or all of his AI cards are gone, we do 1 more damage to him, and that kills him.
Right, which kills his basic action card.
Yes, because he has a basic action that he reverts
So
to.
we can't really kill him. We just need to survive.
We can't
we are
kill him.
killing him. We are killing him
Yep.
because you're reducing his AI deck down to nothing.
Okay.
Yes.
And then once his AI deck is done and you hit him 1 more time,
And you
that kills his
reshuffle
basic
it.
action.
You reshuffle his AI deck.
But you don't shuffle anything in that you wounded.
Correct.
Correct.
But I said you reshuffle them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so his first attack is Claw. Pick a target. Closest threat, facing, in range. Facing would be anything in front of him, which is nothing, so it's not that. Next is closest threat in field of view. Field of view is the entire board except the 2 spots behind him. So he will turn.
And he's essentially equal distance because we had to start 6 spaces.
Yes,
away,
we're all
so.
6 spaces, and now he will move and attack. So he has 6 movement.
So this is where
1,
Joe can decide who
2,
he attacks.
3, 4, 5. And he will attack me. So,
Which you gain an insanity, because you're
I
correct.
do get an insanity for targeting myself, so let's do that.
Could be very important.
Could be. And now,
his speed is 2.
yep, well, we use this attack.
Oh, yeah.
So his speed is 2, and his accuracy is a 2+.
Yeah.
So anything 2 or higher, he hits me on. Oh, jeez. 2 hits.
So 2 hits. So roll.
I'll roll 2 hit dice, 1 for each hit. And that is a chest and a chest.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That's pretty awful right off the bat.
So that...
You didn't want to use your thing to remove a...
Yeah, I probably should. I'll use my... So I'm going to use my 1 survival I have right here to use my dodge. And that allows me to dodge 1 hit, not both of them, just 1. But that means my 1 survival is gone. But if I would have took 2 hits to the chest, I would have been knocked down and I pretty much lose my entire turn. Because you don't get back up until the end.
No, it would be the end of the monster's phase, which would be the end of this one. It's not the end of the next monster's phase, yeah. So you wouldn't have been knocked down, but any future hit to your chest would have been a severe injury automatically.
Maybe I'll take the knockdown now and I could dodge it later if it's a more dangerous attack.
It's on you.
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay.
Same thing.
Alright,
so I'll be knocked down. At the end of the lion's turn, I get back up. Oh.
and you give yourself a survival back.
And I get my survival back because I did not use that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Alright, so now we all take our turns. It's in any order. Whatever we think. If you try to hit him from behind, it is 1 easier to hit because you're in his
blind spot. For this particular monster, and it varies per monster, but for this particular monster, these 2 spaces directly behind it, just those 2 are its blind spot, Matt, so that you're aware. Any of us, realistically, anybody who can actually make it to the blind spot should be the ones that actually go, if possible.
Yeah, all 3 of us can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, but there's only 2 spots in the blind spot, so only 2 people will be able to.
Right.
And we all have the same stats off the get-go, so...
Right. So
but somebody's going to want to throw their founding stone.
Yeah, where did it say that?
So, it's in here, just in
like
the setup for the first
game.
Yeah. The first hit location is the weird strange hand.
Yes.
And if you crit it, then you get a chance to increase your strength for your character forever.
I'm going to move 1, 2.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and I'll throw it on.
Okay. So...
And then that way it's just...
When you... The founding stone automatically hits for 1 hit, so we reveal the 1 hit location, which is the strange hand. This is if Steve fails to hit, or fails to damage. Then
is this a random deck, or is it...
This is. The first card is not.
The first card in each one in this opening scenario.
Only this scenario.
Yeah, after this, it's always random.
So, if he failed to hit, it would have this reaction. He didn't fail to hit. He critical wounded, because when you throw your founding stone, it always hits and it always crits if there's a crit available. So the crit says, cancel any reaction on this card. Don't have to worry about that anyways. You hack off the monster's hand. Spend 1 survival to treasure this moment and gain 1 permanent strength. So Steve has no survival.
Which interestingly enough, out of the couple times that I've tried this, I think we didn't do it on the starting thing, even though it suggested. I didn't realize that when we first played, so it never gained that extra strength. I don't think.
So Steve and Joe have played this once before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Steve more than once.
Yes.
Josh and I have not.
Yeah. I've played the opening act and the very next attack, nothing else.
So
2 times.
This also gives the lion a persistent injury of lost hand, which affects some of its AI cards' future. So some cards say he'll try to grab us. He's missing his hand. He can't grab us. So he just fails.
That'll actually go out and stay out here to show that it's, which you can't really see very well.
And because Steve did a damage, an AI card gets removed to the wound stack. So he only has like 8 hit points total. He's now in the 7 now because Steve wounded it.
Cool.
That is Steve's whole turn. So now it'll be one of the 3 of us to try.
Cool.
So if you 2 want to try to move to the back of him and use,
you know, Matt.
I guess so. Sure. I mean, I have no idea what the. So do your characters go from like gameplay to gameplay?
Yeah.
Yes, as long as they don't die.
As long as they
Yes.
don't die.
Yeah. Or retire. There's a point, you see your age to the Hunt XP track, see how it eventually gets really high? Eventually your guy will, below that you'll notice there's aging. The aging will actually take place and you'll actually retire. Your person will retire. But we'll also gain new people and have, there's also babies that can come in and they can be like super babies. And
Gotcha. So is it good to hold on to the founding stone now?
Yes.
It's not a bad idea because the one thing about it is it's the only guaranteed hit that we have until we get much later in the game. So you can still use it as a shiv. It's only the throwing of the thing.
Okay. Yes, you can attack with it still normally.
So I'll move 5, which puts me behind it.
Right, and then your choice is either use this where it's slightly easier to hit and slightly easier to do a regular wound, or this where you get the opportunity to have a better chance to crit. Probably this is your better chance because...
Yeah, I'm not great at rolling, so I will attack it with the founding stone.
Right. So your speed is 2, so you get 2 dice, and you need a 7 or higher.
That is not good.
It's never... This game starts off awful either way.
6 or higher.
Two 8s.
6
2
or higher
8s,
because
so
you're
that's
behind
good.
him.
Alright, so we got 2
Not bad.
hit locations, yeah. So your hit locations are the Beast's Elbow and the Fuzzy Groin. Now you have a choice on which way you go.
Man.
Here's the important thing to realize. As you're doing these, if you do this and you hit the failure, oftentimes the failure ends up negating any other things that you happen. So you may want to roll to resolve this hit first as opposed to this hit
Because
first.
if you fail this one, there's no side effect. Or if you fail this one, he moves away from you, and then this hit, it misses.
And then I
Or,
can't
or
hit it.
could
Yeah.
miss, yeah,
Yeah,
depending on how they...
yeah.
Yeah.
But these are both my hits then.
Yes.
These are both potential hits. Now you have to see if you actually penetrated and did damage.
Right, so I did hit him, but I don't know if I damaged him.
Right. So what's his thing?
6.
6, and it's... Or
1
that's-
strength for the founding stone.
Right. Oh, his defense is 6?
Yes.
Yeah, his toughness is 6. So you'll get 1 automatically because that's the bottom number there.
Yep.
So you need to roll a 5 or higher to
With
actually
these
hurt
same
him.
die?
Yeah, you'll use one of them. And are you going to do this one first?
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
absolute
So
sense.
if you get a crit, this is the big thing that actually got me to buy the
This
game.
would be
in the
terrible
first
if you
place.
get a crit.
Really?
We get his testicles,
But
which
then
is
you
awesome.
become like the super enemy of him, and he goes
And he's
crazy.
enraged like the rest of the game, and he deals extra
I mean,
damage.
Charlene goes after balls right away.
Yeah,
so
you
that's
should.
kinda-
Of course
you
she
know what?
does.
You know what? She's a handful,
Okay, that's a hit.
but not a crit.
Right.
So that's good.
So this goes away.
So
What's
then,
a crit?
so
for
the
him?
crit would literally.
It'd be a 9.
It varies.
Higher on this one.
No,
No.
you did a 10,
No.
It's a 10 because you don't have luck.
and you don't
Oh,
reduce.
okay.
Right,
Yes.
right, and you don't reduce by the thing. The crit varies depending on the individual card as to whether or not it does anything special.
Okay.
In this case, he didn't crit, so this just takes 1 more damage off, and again, it's 1 less AI that we have to deal with. Now you can do this one, so you're gonna roll for that one separately.
And here's the part we left out so far. Somewhere in this hit location deck is a trap. If a trap comes up at any time, say you hit 3 times, and the trap is one of the cards, your entire thing fails.
And you
And the
resolve
trap
the trap.
happens. He was like
And
luring
then-
you in.
And then all of the things in the hit location get shuffled back into the actual hit location deck,
Yes.
and the trap is there and available again potentially.
Yes.
Other things are there.
All right.
Okay, so I did have the armor to the waist. Okay.
Yep.
Come on, Charlene.
7, nice.
Not another hit.
Yep. So another hit. You don't have to have the negative.
Um,
Wow, that's really good.
Charlene is probably the best character in the game so far.
So far,
far,
she
yes.
is pretty bestial. She is pretty super beast.
Beast mode.
Beast mode. You gonna go next since
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Tooth and
Moses.
claw or
No, founding stone.
founding stone.
Okay.
Might as well. Like that.
6 or better.
Yeah, hopefully.
Come on, you can do it. Oh wow! Yeah.
2 lanterns.
2 lanterns.
This is
Jesus.
recorded in live, so just...
Wow.
All
Why
right.
didn't you
So
do that now?
those are crits.
I know.
Those
but,
are just 2
uh,
hits.
Yeah,
still
super
amazing.
unfortunate.
So both of these have failures. The first is the Beast's Maw. The monster roars triumphantly. Roll 1d10 on 4 plus the attacker suffers 1 brain damage per monster level and is knocked down. He's monster level 1, so not a big deal. But you would be knocked down, which means that you wouldn't get to attack this.
It actually would be kind of bad because we have no insanity to defend. He has no insanity, so that 1
Yes.
damage would go right in and do his checkbox right away.
Yes.
And that could be. That's actually bad. Worse on the brain damage, I think.
for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's.
I
worse on
mean,
brain
either
damage
way,
than
I have to
physical
do
damage.
both of them, right?
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
but you choose which
this
one.
one, if you fail, he moves forward in a straight line, cancels the rest of your hits because he's out of
What
range.
happens
now.
if he moves forward and there's a person in front of him?
You will knock that person down. They will get knocked back to the same distance and actually knocked to the ground.
Okay.
And potentially take a hit's worth of damage, but I don't remember that for sure. I think they roll 1 hit onto it. 99% sure it's 1 hit. And again, so resolving this first, he won't move, and then you would have the chance to resolve this one even if you fail. This one, if you fail, he will move out of your range.
No, he wouldn't because he'd be knocked down by this, and I think that would.
It
that
would
end
knock
it?
down-
I'm saying if he does this first. If he fails this one first.
If I failed either one first,
Because this one knocks him down. He gets knocked down.
Oh,
I'm in his
yeah,
blind
yeah,
spot
yeah,
though.
yeah,
Shouldn't I
yeah.
get knocked out? Not knocked down.
Well, it's his roar makes you like fall to the ground. It's
Right,
not
right,
like
right,
and
right.
like you because it hurts your brain.
And it does to everybody, so you would get
No,
knocked down.
just you. No, it's just the attacker.
Just the attacker
Yeah.
suffers it. Yeah, yeah.
So either way is bad.
Yeah.
Well, this one here, though, again, it's only on a 4+, so technically it's less of a chance. This one he's going to move one way or the other.
This one we suffer
4+,
grab.
on a
He
4+.
won't grab him because he's got claw.
But he won't
He's-
grab
he has
us.
no
So
claw.
I need to roll a 4+ to fail, or
Right. Like the failure, afterwards you roll, and that's whether or not you fall down and what it
Yeah.
was.
So that's the least likely. If
okay.
You
So
fail.
let's
It's
go.
marginal less.
Let's go
Be
that
small
one first.
Okay,
Yeah.
just crit twice more. It'll be fine.
Just get a hit, period. I'd be...
Nope.
That's a miss.
not-
Okay. So the monster roars triumphantly. Roll a d10.
Yep. Actually, you're supposed to roll the d10 because you're the monster controller.
We'll roll the white one. Perfect.
Perfect.
He
So-
roars triumphantly. You suffer 1 brain damage.
Great. So I put.
Okay, so you need to actually look that up. So you're gonna do a check. You're gonna X on that, yeah, and you need to look up brain damage specifically because it is. He
Well,
may
you
actually have to roll that, even
No,
though
it's after that.
oh, it's only after
yes,
that.
it's
right,
after
right,
that.
right,
It's
Okay.
just like the normal.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so now you're knocked down, and that's it, pretty much.
Can you determine which way they're knocked down, since they take up 2 spaces?
It's
No,
they
they
only
don't.
technically take up
It's
one
whatever
space,
their
yeah.
low.
Okay.
It's whatever their lay down space is.
And the other
Gotcha.
one would just be ignored because he can't attack since he got knocked down, right?
Right, right.
Cool.
I believe so. Yes.
I would. That seems right thematically. This game usually isn't like, hey, yeah, complete your turn even though you
Yes.
got knocked down.
it's surprisingly unfriendly.
I want to move over here,
So you're at least not in
and
front field of view,
I will.
facing you.
Doesn't somebody become his enemy and get marked or something?
I'll
and
try
he
to-
attacks that person always first or something.
It can happen. It depends.
I'll try to fist and tooth him. I'm
Okay.
feeling cray cray.
Now
One
one.
hit. Okay.
One.
All right.
Okay.
So we reveal the hit. It is the monster's throat. If I crit him, he dies at the end of his next turn. Well, there's a chance he dies at the end of his next turn. So,
And you need a 9 because you did the tooth and nail.
Yes,
So
tooth
you
and
only
nail.
need a 9 or more.
but that means I also need to get a 6 or higher just to hit in general.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Okay. Oh, it's a crit!
Oh my gosh! Holy crap!
Okay.
That's super crazy.
Okay.
Tom.
So
So
on
you do 1 damage automatically.
Yes, and on a 1 through 9 he's paralyzed. On a 10 he has a crushed windpipe.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, so he's knocked down.
down, and yeah, so
Which sucks because at the beginning of his turn he just stands back up, I believe.
yes, but he won't get to do anything. I don't think it's the beginning of his turn. I think it might be. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Monster knockdown. You gotta look it up.
If you knock him down at the beginning of the round, then
Did you do a
it's
damage?
a 3 plus to hit him
Did
for
you take an
everyone.
AI off,
Yeah,
We
Steven?
did, yes.
yeah,
you
I did take one. Yes. Yep. Dude, we are actually doing amazingly good for a first turn.
Yes.
Amazingly good.
This game's too easy.
Knockdown monster. While a monster is knocked down, attack rolls hit on 3 plus. Cancel all reactions, including reactions that might be beneficial to survivors. This does not cancel critical wound effects since there are no reactions. Okay. If the monster is knocked down during a flow, cancel any remaining actions on its card. A knockdown monster stands when it draws an AI card. A trap is played or the start of the next turn. Monster or survivors. So
Okay.
he just to stand up and then we...
So it would be better if you would have knocked him down earlier because
First.
it becomes easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you hit him on a 3 instead of a...
Yes.
Yeah,
3
3 more,
plus.
yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you're behind him, it's a 2 plus then. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So that passes.
You are now the monster controller.
So you're gonna stand back up automatically,
He was
and you will do the AI card. So
start at the
Pick
top.
target.
Yep.
Grasp. Pick target. Closest knockdown survivor in range.
grasp, I don't think they can actually do because he's got the hand injury.
Yes. Does it say anything about a lost hand on there?
No.
Okay, so what does it say? Go ahead and read the pick target then.
Pick target. Closest knockdown survivor in range. Closest survivor in range. No target sniff.
Okay, so if we start with the first one, so closest knockdown survivor in range.
So me.
You're in a blind spot though, so that does
You're
not
not in range.
that
Okay,
automatically
so
makes
closest
you
survivor in range, which
so,
would be Joe.
Joe, right?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
So
Move and
turn-
attack. Speed 1. Accuracy 2 plus. Damage 1. Trigger something after damage.
Yeah, I feel like he's not going to be able to.
Yeah, I thought he couldn't do grasp because he has a lost hand. But I
What does
thought
your
it
card
was...
say?
Let's see. Yeah, I got those.
What's its monster level?
One. So we'll be fighting ones for a while. Essentially, it's like the highest level are 3, so it's 1, 2s, and 3s. But 2s are exponentially stronger than 1s, and 3s are exponentially stronger than 2s. When I screwed up,
Barrett,
the one game
shut
that I
up.
thought we screwed up. When we did the second encounter, you're supposed to just create the monster deck by like normal, as opposed to the special way you do this. And when I created the monster deck, I unintentionally put in stuff that you would only put in for level 3
Is that what he needs?
things, like level 3 monsters. So it was like we were fighting mostly the right stuff, except he had 2 automatic powers that made him way stronger than he should have been. So he was constantly hitting us.
Maybe it's under persistent thing. Persistent injury action. Found on some AI cards. Persistent injury actions are conditional actions that replace the normal rules of an AI card. They're only performed when the monster draws an AI card with persistent injury action that matches a persistent injury in play, which there isn't any on that card. So
I'm pretty sure that he can't do grab the grab itself. You might be able to do the grasp, but besides, it's only one hand. So.
let me look up grab maybe. See if it says anything about
Can I see that red card?
Nope.
This one?
it. Okay. So yeah, he just performs it.
Okay,
He
so
still has
speed.
one hand. We
Okay,
only
so
chopped off one. I
what's
guess.
accuracy? That's how many dice he rolls?
No,
No,
the
no.
speed is the dice.
Speed.
Okay,
Accuracy is what he hits
so he
on.
rolls 1d10.
So go ahead.
I want the white one.
Okay.
That's the one he rolls.
That's not actually the one. That's only for 10-siders. Is what it's technically for.
For rolling D100.
yeah, for a D100.
But, yeah.
That's the only reason why.
It's
there's
fine. You can use. It's the same die.
Okay.
Okay.
It needs a 2, right?
Yep.
2.
Okay.
Okay.
Damage of 1.
So you
I roll this, right? See,
He
or no,
rolls
he
it.
does. Yeah.
He rolls to see the location.
Head.
That's
Head.
bad.
That's okay.
Good thing you already took a brain injury.
Brain injury is different than head injury.
All right. I'm gonna get knocked down anyway. So all right.
And
Or I should,
Oh,
I should
okay.
dodge that one, shouldn't I? Just in
Triggers.
case. I'm gonna dodge that one.
So trigger happens, right?
No, he's gonna miss. He's gonna make it a miss. So he's making that hit into a miss.
So there's no damage. So there's no after damage
Okay.
because he didn't do any damage to me.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Right. He chose to use his survival to
So
keep
this
that from actually
goes
hurting
back
him.
on the...
Yes. And now you stand back up because it's the end of the monster's turn.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Now anybody takes their turn. Can you walk through
No.
somebody else's...
Somebody else.
No.
No, you
cannot walk through somebody else.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Okay, look, I don't have the founding stone anymore, so I'd like to go first so that I have a better chance. So if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
from behind, then I have a better chance
That's
to actually hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll move up there. I get 2 d10s. I need a 7 or higher.
7 or higher.
Yeah, it's 8 normally, but behind you're at -1 off of that. So anytime you're in the blind spot of the monster, you get 1 extra. Got 1, so that's good. So hit locations. Beast's tricep. Okay, so I don't have a lot of choices in this. I need a 6, but my strength is 1. So since my strength is 1, even though my bottom number is a 0, I reduce the actual toughness of the monster by 1 for every strength. The combination of my weapon, in this case 0, plus my actual strength, which is 1.
Kind of like the founding stone.
Right, it's kind of like that. Right, exactly. So, and again, as you get more strength over time, it would reduce that number more and more and more over time.
So you only need a
But they're
6.
getting stronger and stronger over time.
So,
as
no,
well.
I need a 5 because his toughness is a 6 on here.
Okay.
Toughness on the back. Whoops! On the back of this card is a 6 right there for the first
So
attack.
since you're 1 strength, it's a 5.
Exactly. So I need a 5 to actually damage it.
And you have because
And a 9 or more would be a crit.
So close.
I didn't.
so there's a
I-
failure.
So it's a failure. Perform basic action, target the attacker. So you are going to perform the basic action. Oops, wrong one.
Which is what?
Which is this right here. So he's going to closest survivor in field of view, but he's going to always target me either way because of the way the thing
Okay.
reads. So he's going to turn into attack. That is one thing that I'm not totally clear on because since I'm in the blind spot, there's this.
Well, I
You
think
know
it's
what I
because you fail. It
I
does
understand.
say
You're right.
yeah.
I understand. I'm
It
just saying.
says the attacker.
Right.
Yeah, target
So
the attacker.
right. So it's a little bit crazy. But then you do the basic one. So it's move and attack target. So it's 2. So 2. And you do a 2+ to hit me.
Hopefully I roll 1s.
Hey,
That's good.
Wow.
So you only roll that once. And
Chest.
I'll take that 1 chest.
All right.
Body. Okay.
That's the end of your turn.
That
I
was
would
the end
like
of
to
my
go
turn.
next because I'm behind him already. I can attack and then move out That
Yeah,
way you
then
both
that'll
can
give
get in
space for
behind
2
them.
Okay.
people.
Alright, I'll use my...
It's good to use the founding stone, isn't it?
It's not a bad thing to do
It's
as a
easier
regular
to hit.
attack. Yeah.
It's easier to hit, it's harder to crit.
But
You
it's
have to
also
hit
it's
before you
also
can
easier
crit,
to
though.
damage. It's
Yeah.
also easier
True.
to damage.
Alright, I'm gonna use my founding stone this time. And I get 1 hit. So we flip this over. It is the Beast's Brow.
Which you wouldn't have gotten a hit if you used the other one, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
Right. So now I need a
6.
6 or higher to hit.
Well, 5 because you're behind it, right?
No. That's only
Oh,
to
because
hit.
it's strength.
6 or higher
Gotcha.
to damage.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Gotcha.
right.
So there's no reaction unless I wounded it. So that just goes away. Now I'll move 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
5 there.
I was a little bit surprised there.
I'll move so then I can get
Yeah.
on this
Further
side
one,
of it. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then I'll attack with my founding stone.
Okay. 6 or higher.
Nope.
That's
So
2
good.
misses.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, that's pretty bad.
This is how it starts.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Come on, Charlene.
Come on, Charlene.
Spawning stone.
Founding stone.
Okay, 6 or higher.
We need that little leader down here, Joe.
So close.
Closest in range, not closest in range and field of view, guys. So should target knock down survivor.
No, because it's in the blind spot. When it's in the blind spot, it shouldn't. The blind spot counts as not available from what everything that it said in the other part. If you look at blind spot, I'm pretty sure it says that you don't get an attack.
Closest in range, not closest in range and field of view.
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
He was
Though?
talking about the
Technically-
previous round when you were knocked down, but you were in the blind spot at the
Oh,
time.
it does say closest in range. Closest in range is anywhere near it. So he could have attacked himself or... Well, he would have attacked you, not me. Is what it would have done. Because it was closest knockdown survivor in range. Technically, he's in range. It's just field of view is anywhere but behind him. It
Yeah.
didn't say in field of view. It just said closest knockdown survivor in range.
I
Yeah.
thought it said that when
Technically-
you're in the blind spot that you weren't you don't normally get targeted. I thought that's what it was. I thought that was part of the whole thing. So,
Yeah. Well,
but,
we know now.
that's fine.
So
Either way,
cool. Thank you.
yeah, sure.
So it shouldn't have been me, or it should
It
have
should have been you because you were in range and knocked down, and that was his first target. Was
Gotcha.
someone knocked down and in range.
Yeah, I thought the blind spot wasn't considered.
been? So you missed also, Matt?
Yes.
But not as badly.
Either way,
Okay.
so that passes.
And
Matt,
pass.
you are now the AI person.
Fuck shit up.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Enraged.
that's Emily.
Mood.
Well, door just opened.
When this
Oh.
one comes into play, draw AI.
Did you not hear it?
It was the
So this comes out. So
Oh,
this
well.
comes out and stays out here. While enraged is in play, White Lion gains +1 damage token per monster level, so it gets 1 extra damage. And when a survivor suffers any dismembered, severe injury, or is killed, discard enraged. So that's going to stay out here, and this new AI comes out, and you're going to actually perform that now.
Maul.
What's that for?
Pick
plus
target.
damage.
Victim of grab last round is the target.
There isn't one that nobody got grabbed.
Okay. Closest knockdown survivor in range. There's no knockdown survivor,
Okay.
right? Closest
Right.
knockdown survivor in range.
Right. Right.
So no target. Sniff.
So sniff is one of its basic things on here. Sniff does this. The white lion sniffs the air and ends its turn. Until the end of the next round, all survivors are now threats, despite any effects that say otherwise. So even the people behind and all of that type of stuff. When a level, it's not a level 3 line, so it doesn't matter.
I know.
So then move and attack target. Correct.
It doesn't do, no.
No.
It only does the move and attack if
If it
one of
targets
the,
something.
right, if it
Okay.
has one of the other
Okay.
pieces that go off. So no target, it just does.
Because we're in darkness, I'm assuming it couldn't find anybody, or...
It's based on the type of, it's based on where you're at and the thing. That's part of the reason why it's AI. So then this is going to get,
shuffled.
Yep.
And then we all get to take our turns. So I'm assuming me and Matt should attack first since we're directly behind it and move out.
that's probably the best idea. It sucks if you hit something though that actually makes it move forward though and then take us out, but that's the way life is. You want to
You
go
wanna-
first? You want to?
You can go first, Josh.
Okay.
Okay, they're going to go first if they're already
I'm
behind.
gonna
Your
attack.
founding stone?
Yeah, founding stone.
Woof! Nice.
2 9s.
Okay, so one is the beast's flank,
Okay.
which will react on a wound, The other is the beast's ribs, which will also react on a wound.
What are the reactions? Let's see here. Cats hate this. The monster is very upset. Attack regains the priority target token. So
That's the one you were talking about.
So that isn't that bad. I just become the primary target.
Right.
The other one is, so these are wounds, not misses, right?
That's if you miss them, then nothing happens.
Gotcha. If the attacker has 3+ understanding, the sound of cracking ribs is encouraged.
You have no.
One's rebel. So both these I could do in any order.
Right. You just got to pick which one you're doing first.
Let's do beast ribs.
Okay, beast ribs.
Yeah, let's punch it in its ribs or stab it in its ribs.
Do it.
With a broken face.
7. That should be it. So that does the damage, but just doesn't. And so you will do the wound reaction. So the
wound, if the attack has 3+ understanding, which I don't.
You don't. Right. So none of that actually takes effect at all.
Okay, so now I'm going to attack the beast's flank.
Yep.
Flank.
9. Nice. So you also get that wound. What
Cat
does that say?
hates this. The monster is very upset. Attacker gains a priority target token.
Which is
Oh, shit.
It looks like that.
Yeah.
The purple one, or blue. I hit it twice.
So the priority target token says when a monster performs a pick target action, it picks you.
Yay.
When you are picked as a target, discard this token unless something specifies otherwise, like the fuzzy groin. The fuzzy groin says you're his target until he kills you.
Awesome.
If you crit him.
I've seen it. It's at the bottom, all the way to the left.
Huzzah. Alright.
Sweet.
Move out.
And I'm gonna move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, why
Sure.
not?
I don't think you have to do 5, right?
No.
No, you can move as much as you like.
Okay. I will
You can
attack.
take it out now if you can get it twice.
Yeah, I'll attack.
Yep.
With the
There's one left here and one there. We could actually be done with this already, this part. Then we go on to the village phase.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one.
Ooh.
That's one. So, one hit location. Let's see what
Trap.
you get.
No.
Nope, beast's back.
Oh.
Alright, so you only have one, so you're going to roll in it and see what happens.
You can see it's cracked. Why didn't you green it? I was just wondering.
I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
you
crit!
Yes.
Nice.
Wow.
Critical wound. White Lion gains -1 accuracy token as well. So
now
it's
he hits on a 3+ instead of 2+.
Right. And
Nice.
you still did the wound, and its only thing left is its basic attack. So the only thing it can do is its basic attacks.
Go Charlene.
From there. That's amazing, Town.
Should
So you're gonna. So that was
his turn,
Yep.
right?
So he's gonna move out.
Should I throw my stone just to kill it, or is it not worth it?
I don't think it's worth it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Because
go.
you have two
Can I
people
can I go behind him so I'm not directly in front of him in case you?
Oh, I thought you already went. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no. Neither one of us have gone at all.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. You should go first because
I can get.
I can't make it to that spot. I can only make it to that.
Okay.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
Right. Exactly. So 2 dice. What do you
Founding
do?
stone.
Founding
I
stone.
don't
Come
need
on.
a crit, so I need to hit though.
Yeah, would
that
be
was not a
nice.
hit. Okay.
All right. So I'll end up here.
Yep.
Come on, Steve's character.
Come on, Balthazar.
Target,
You need a 7?
Yes. No, 6 because I'm behind.
Oh, and you have 1 strength.
Or no,
that
7.
is
That's
7.
right.
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good.
Bargoth.
Oh,
Two.
2 hits.
2. That's
Nah.
gonna
That could be bad.
That could be bad.
There's-
He's set
Is there a
heal.
trap in the middle or something?
Well, it's
It's
anywhere
anyways,
in
just
there
shuffled
other
randomly.
than that very first one. Beast
His heel
heal and
and his
beast
knee.
knee. And actually, neither one of them are negatives.
Right.
So I'll just start with the knee.
Okay.
I need a.
He used to be a lion.
5 or more to hurt it.
Until he took a founding stone to the knee.
I would love to get a crit, but whatever, just for the sake of it. 6, that's the damage.
He's dead.
We're
Yeah,
dead.
no.
Alright,
We
he's
killed
dead.
the lion.
This
Okay.
game is so easy, Joe.
This game is so easy.
So
Overrated.
Okay,
Hey, I'm no longer the target.
So,
I think that's the rest of the whole series.
Yeah, the whole series.
Here, this one here,
Yes.
there.
So because we killed him, we get 4 white lion resources.
Are they randomly given out, or do we get
Yes.
to choose them?
Or do we get to trade amongst ourselves?
Yeah, we get we go back to village. Right, it's 4, and then you get 4 general resources.
Maybe
as well.
you should read. what
Yes,
happened.
yeah, you definitely do. Yeah. You have 4 or 4.
The lion's testes. Some
We-
sinew
We get to keep them
Shimmering
all
mange
as a group.
and a
either
great
way.
cat. Oh.
It's not like we each get these pieces. We use them as a
right.
group.
Yes.
Oh, so we're all in a village? Is that?
Yeah,
each
yeah.
of
We
our
will.
own?
We will be creating a village after this in a second.
So it is like truly co-op.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is 100%.
Yeah. That's what I said. Like even though
So like if we can spread the wealth, that's probably best. And
oh yeah, we
whatever.
definitely want to
Okay.
do those type of things. Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I like it better.
Yeah,
that way.
and that's why I said just because you're playing Charlene now, in a future turn, somebody else can play Charlene.
I love
because all of the people are like completely superfluous. They can.
I love it. Lion testes, organ consumable, a hefty pair of nuts.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
stringy guts are quite useful.
All right, then you get a broken lantern, monster organ,
That's
Full
good.
of organs.
a monster organ, and
Ooh, and that's good. That's good because that can be anything: a hide, an organ, or a bone.
oh,
Those
okay.
are good.
It's a little bit
So
of
the
everything.
combinations of stuff is how you actually get items as you're getting to the next part. So, do you have a village thing? Do you want me to?
So we need this, right?
Yeah, we need this thing
Where's
here.
at the back of that?
No, it's this thing right here.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's giant.
We just put it across the board. There
Yep,
you go.
yep, yep.
And I have the sheet here.
Are
And
you gonna fill the sheet out? Do you want
Sure,
me to
yeah.
fill the sheet
We
out or
can-
whatever? I didn't know if you were gonna read the book thing for that part of it.
Sure,
Yeah, is there a prologue or epilogue?
There he is. He'll go over in just a second.
All right. Just make sure I get everything out here.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's more. Here's a knife. That'll help open those.
Here. Need that. And then the only other thing we need right away is.
Survivors are victorious. Collect your rewards. By scavenging the monster's corpse, the survivors earn resources. Four White Lion resource cards, 4 basic. We already did that. Place all the resources face up on the table. They can create. If a player lost their survivor in the first story, they can create new survivors in the
Where'd the
settlement.
knife come from?
The perished
Just
survivors'
break it out.
gear and resources are not lost. They return to the settlement and remain with the remaining survivors. Turn the page to create the settlement. Okay. So after they defeat the White Lion, the survivors wander the darkness, drawn to a soft glow blooming on the horizon. In the first story settlement phase, players create the settlement they will return to in every subsequent settlement phase. The steps of the settlement phase are outlined in the settlement board as a useful reminder. Place the settlement board in the play area along with the gear grids and survivor record sheets of the survivors first persevered through the first story. Okay. They're now the returning survivors. We have all 4 of us. Yay. Alright, use a new double-sided settlement sheet. Got that. Start by naming your settlement.
So what do I call it, guys?
The town?
Yeah. What do we want to name? Are you saying you want to call it the town?
I like Ballsville, but
Tell your woman, shut up.
this town was founded on lion balls, so.
We built this city
On lion's balls.
I guess that's
Yeah,
what it is.
Yeah.
Balltown?
Well, Balls Town.
Ballstown. B-A-L-L-S or Z?
Your preference.
I prefer the S so that we're
B-A-H-L-S.
less of yeah.
There you go. Balls with an H.
Balls Town.
B-A-H-L-S.
Alright, when the settlement is
Balls.
named for the first time, returning survivors gain +1 survival. If you already have one, you cannot gain another. Because we have a
What?
max
No,
of
no.
1 survival.
Yeah.
Yep, because we have a maximum survival of 1 per person right now.
Can I gain courage?
No, not yet. Alright, so we did that. Survivors return. Notice below the settlement name that the returning survivors gain +1 survival. We did that. Add the names of the returning survivors to the population list on the settlement record sheet.
It's on the backside.
Population list. Right
Down at the
here.
bottom, yep.
Alright,
How much health
name.
did that lion have?
Moses.
11 total.
11.
Yeah.
Net.
Yeah, no, we went really fast.
Male.
I did 5.
The line only got 3 turns.
I know.
Moses.
What was your...
Charlene. S-H-A-R-L-E-E-N.
Bar, Goth. B-A-R-G-O-T-H.
Can his son be Bard Balls?
Mark Balls.
Could be.
Okay. Gain endeavors. Endeavors are creative energies
daughter will be
accumulated
sure
from
balls.
experience. Each returning survivor generates 1 endeavor. Use endeavor tokens to track your endeavors.
Yep.
Any unspent endeavors are lost in the settlement phase. So we get 4 because all 4 of us returned. We want to spend 4.
Yeah.
Update the timeline. The extinguishing of a single lantern in the lantern horde happens regularly. This is how the survivors track time and is called a lantern year. Update the lantern year on the settlement record sheet now by checking off the first lantern year here. Right? Right here.
So where we live, it's just like a giant lantern thing.
There's like a
it's
pile
a
of
lantern.
lanterns.
What you that we found, and there'll be some, and there's some people there. And what you essentially, well, it'll describe it.
Yes.
Okay.
Settlement. Find the first day settlement event card and place it in the play area. The first day determines the population of your settlement and is always played when a new settlement is created.
I've got it here.
Follow the rules.
Okay, so the first day settlements event will help you set up your settlement. Okay, the survivors wander drawn to a blooming light in the distance. They find the serene comfort of a towering pile of lanterns and a small collection of scared people. On a deep instinctual level, they know this area is safe and they make it their home. Roll 1d10.
Who rolls it?
Doesn't matter. Please pick somebody to roll it.
Who got that? I'll roll it. It's gonna be bad, but it's okay.
All right. 6.
Could have been worse.
8 unnamed survivors. So we get 8 extras. We don't have to choose any names. In fact, we
So
may
it's
not.
like their population is 12 then, right?
Yes, 12 total. Yep.
The 4 of us.
That's
and
not
then
bad.
The 8 unnamed.
No,
No, that's
now
not.
what we did just to help us keep remembering is we did like male, female, male. Like we did males and females, but no names, just so that we'd stake that out because it can be important later as to whether or not they're males or females in the thing. And we didn't even split, but you guys can do whatever we can do whatever we want. Just because you're supposed to make some of those determinations right from the
So right now we're even, and we added 8 more.
Mm-hmm.
5 females, 3 males.
I was gonna do the opposite: 5 males and 3 females.
That makes more logical sense.
I don't know the game at all, but thematically, males might be stronger. Whatever, I don't know.
In the only thing that I can tell you for sure that I know anything about is that you will need, generally speaking, males and females to make babies because intimacy becomes a thing. But that's all I can tell you. I don't. Otherwise, I don't know that there's
So
any difference.
even split or 1 more male.
I'm good with that.
You wanted 1 more male too, so.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
So
So
5
we
and
had
3.
1, 2.
Usually,
3,
there's usually more
4,
males
5, 1.
when it comes to survival situations.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And it's not. So we have 5, 6, 7.
The thing about this is it's like a complete
7
like,
and 6.
unknown survival situation.
Yeah, we have,
I know.
we have 7 and 6, so it's not even.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. Then it says, return to the settlement section of the first story and proceed to returning survivors story event.
Okay. You know where the story events are in here.
Yeah. If you look in the tab ends on the actually no go to the very front.
Okay.
2 pages from the front. It literally will say returning survivors, and it'll be in the
163.
163.
yeah. The first time we played, we could not find that. We did a lot of like guessing. Well, that's the cool thing. It's got those little pieces there too to do their things.
Returning survivors. Nominate a survivor to utter the first words.
You got the bug.
Is Josh the loudest of us all? So he should probably be the one to speak first.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's fine by me.
Moses is the one that speaks.
That makes sense.
The nominated okay, everyone good with that?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he's speaking
He's speaking the first words. No,
To the
like,
whole- to our group.
Yeah. No.
To-
Period.
in period.
This
Ever.
is like before this. We have not talked.
Yeah.
Like the idea is that we
We
woke
all
up.
woke
we had
up
like
and
Oh
this
God,
thing-
I don't want Josh to
and
represent
this,
our
and
civilization.
this thing was attacking us, and we're like, we just banded together
Yeah, we
to
don't
kill
know.
it.
Right.
I don't want Josh to represent our civilization. That seems so bad.
But I'd be the first one.
He's
I'm
the
outgoing.
loudest of us, right?
You're quiet. You wouldn't be the first
No,
word.
I'm not saying me. I'd rather have Joe. Steve will just talk for 27 hours and we'll die.
I have no idea the extra crit
Starvation.
rolls I get on them.
So what are you two? Do you have a preference, Steve?
I don't have a problem with anybody. It doesn't make a difference.
I'd rather do a roll then.
Roll, Joe.
Okay, that's gonna be Josh because I only roll ones. 2, 9.
9.
Yep.
Okay. So on your card, there's literally going to be a spot for first words or something along that line.
The nominated survivor steps forward and gains +1 courage. So find courage and
Right
fill in
there.
one thing. Yep.
Oh, so we should split it as
Yeah.
much as we can. Okay.
They
Just
lead
so
the other
it's-
survivors in learning to speak to one another. They discuss their situation, realizing they must hunt to live, and the white lion to add the white lion to the quarry list, which it is already
It's
there.
already there. Yeah.
On the settlement record sheet. The settlement gains the language innovation. Search the innovation cards for language and place it face up in your play area and record it on your settlement sheet.
I do.
Language is your first innovation and it will spark the creation of the innovation deck. Build the innovation deck now.
Ooh.
Yes. There's like research and stuff.
I brought language.
Josh is courageous.
Now there on this there should be a thing. On
Innovations, languages
right,
are in
right,
there
but
already.
on the other side, I think it tells about first
So how
word
did it name
spoken
the
or where
town,
we can
town
actually
Bahlstown
list,
then, Josh?
like
If I
under
didn't know
the
how to
notes.
talk yet.
It should, or no, in its
I grew
notes
up
next to
in
his
Bahlstown.
name, yeah.
We
You
just
should
found
be
it.
putting
pointed,
that
I was
he
like-
was the first person to
Like,
speak.
this is
First
our
words.
town.
Yeah, it's important. It becomes
Tefkesville.
important. Okay, so language is the first one that we have. All survivors gain the encourage survival action. So up in your upper box, you see where it's next
Yep,
under
under
dodge.
dodge.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why you
So
said
fill
not
in
yet.
that.
I was like,
Yep. Once per round, if standing, spend one survival to call out to a non-deaf survivor. They stand if not down. And then
So you
add
get
the
one.
language consequences.
Hey,
to
get
the-
on up.
So it says
but you get up at every round anyway?
after the line attacks.
Right.
But like a
So there's scenarios that would happen that would make that.
Well, no. Let's say that, on the thing where he does the wound reaction, or he does all of those
I could
things.
have got knocked down
knocked
before I even
down?
took my turn.
Okay.
Right, and then he would have had to spend his whole turn standing up and doing nothing
Gotcha.
else. So you would be able to do that and get the thing. All right, so I made the deck. The deck
Okay,
one.
so ammonia, drums, hovel,
Yep.
inner lantern,
Yeah, they're
paintings.
literally
Okay.
like, well,
Shuffle these 6 cards together to form the settlement's innovation deck. Place it face down the designated space on the settlement board.
yep, I will.
The innovation deck is
Yep,
persistent.
you're welcome.
Make sure to
That one stays out
preserve
anyways.
the unique combination of cards in your deck between play sessions. Finish with their work, the settlements gather around the glowing center.
Finished with their work, we gather around the glowing center.
Yes.
Right. So the innovations go up here. The settlement locations go down here.
Yeah, we build more locations and stuff.
Yeah. In
Okay.
fact, we will probably do so pretty quickly.
You want
Armed
all-
with
Do
language.
you want all these cards?
You may as well, because we're going to use them all together. Other
Yeah.
than the language one, yes.
Armed with language, the nominated survivor aptly names the glowing center of their home the Lantern Horde. That's that. The settlement gains the Lantern Horde settlement location. Search the large settlement location cards for the Lantern Horde and place it face up. We already did that. The nominated survivor sits in front of the Lantern Horde in awe and gains +1 understanding. Wow.
So
And
you get to
understanding, too.
gain one understanding.
They
Nice.
must skip the next hunt phase.
Which is like the campaign.
The part where we go out and fight.
The next fighting space, they can't go out and fight.
So
They can't?
Josh
They
is a
cannot.
They
different
must
character.
skip the next hunt phase as they ponder the meaning of
Right.
existence.
Now, on your
Wow.
thing, there is a checkbox for skipping the next hunt phase somewhere on your sheet there. You want to check that checkbox. It says
Check
skip.
off that skip hunt box on the survivor's record
Skip
sheet.
next
They
time.
cannot
Yep,
be
Ability
selected.
check that for
impairment.
now. Yep.
Can't be checked off again, I'm assuming.
Once you've done it once, like when we get back to the same phase again next time, you'll erase that,
Yeah.
and then you'll be able to go out. It could happen again.
Wow.
So see
But not
already,
until
Moses
future
is
use.
not going out to fight next time.
Right.
Return to the first story to complete the settlement phase. That's what we found here.
Oh. Somebody was stacking heads, or it just grew like that. Who knows?
Okay.
Ballsville. That's the center of
So-
Ballsville.
It says
Alright.
return to that to complete the settlement phase. The
No,
first
return
day.
to the other thing. Oh no, no.
Oh, the first story.
Yeah. The first. Yeah, you got to go back to there.
Okay.
Because we've already done this part.
You were on number 5?
Update the death count. Done.
0.
Check
Yeah.
milestones. The first time a death count is updated on the settlement, okay, we don't have to do that because we're not there. We'd get the principal death event. So,
Right.
develop. 7. During this step, the survivor spends their endeavors, whether endeavors is indicated to build, innovate, craft gear, and join activities. Wherever endeavors is indicated. Okay. So, when settlement starts out, they can spend their endeavors at the Lantern Horde to build new settlement locations. When an endeavor is spent, reduce the total number of endeavors by 1. If you can, spend 3 endeavors to build the Bonesmith, Organ Grinder, and Skinnery locations. That's what it's recommending. If there are fewer than 3 endeavors to start, choose which locations to build. Get those large location card box from the box. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay. So just so that you guys can see this, on the Lantern Horde, notice there's build, and they've got this the same star icon, which is your endeavor icon. Endeavors go away at the end of this overall phase. So whatever we don't use now, we can't save for a future phase. We can only do what we can do on them. So each one of these would cost 1. We would have 1 left over. With the additional 1, we have a couple options based on either doing something within one of these cards here, or going off and trying to get one of the innovations. We do not have to do these extra 3 things, but these extra 3 deals here are what we use to actually create these. We have to have these buildings to take these to turn them into better armor or weapons or whatever, or items of whatever
Gotcha,
sort.
gotcha.
Now, one thing I will say is we have bone, we have 4 organ, we have 1 hide, and then 1 that could be whatever. The scrap we won't use until later in the game. I haven't even gotten to the point. You can't use this until you get to the point where you can make heat, because you actually have to be able to melt down the extra lanterns into something else, apparently. It's my understanding. So, if you look at these, we have a lot of organs, so it really would make good sense to make the organ grinder, because it takes organs to do their various things, okay? But as far as the other ones, we may not necessarily need to make both of these, or we can make both of them, and we could do them on a future turn.
Do they stay persistent?
Yeah, once these are created, unless an event changes them. Unused items we always keep. They go into like your big storage. You have a big storage, a gear storage, and reserve storage, unless you do. Now, the other thing you can do is this shared experience. So read what that shared experience thing is.
Nominate a survivor that has 2 or more Hunt XP. That should be other than yourself. They describe illuminating details of their desired death. If you are not deaf, gain +1 Hunt XP from their story. If the nominated survivor has a shattered jaw, instead gain +1 insanity.
Right. Now, we can't do that because nobody has the 2 XP. But now, if we do the organ grinder, this is another thing that they do say. You can spend one of these innovations, or endeavors, to do an augury. You roll 1d6. On a 1 to 3, you lose 1 resource from the settlement. If you do, gain 1 understanding. So we gain a 4 to 7, you gain a survival. But again, there's
in addition to the one, or just
no, because you can never have more survival than whatever your survival limit is at the corner of your.
It starts at 1.
Yeah, it starts at 1. But the third thing is, if you get an 8 or more, you get to do intimacy, which means we would have the potential for having a child born. This is a pretty good one, or getting another innovation. Either or could be good. And again, if we only say did the organ grinder and picked one of the 2, we could try for intimacy and an innovation.
Yes.
Or we can get all 3 of these out right away.
An innovation, you need 1 of each.
No. In innovation, you you have to have 1 of each item. Yes.
Do we have a hide?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have 1 hide. We have 1 hide.
Plenty of organs.
And this actually, and we can actually archive this to gain 2 basic hide resources. But the reason why you would hold on to this is that in a future turn, in future turns, we can have other locations. One of them that you pretty much get immediately, like on the next, once you finish the next hunt, is a Caterium, which the Caterium lets you use cat parts to specifically do special things. And the Shimmering Mane is a specialized cat part that would get us a bonus item in that level. At that, would give us something out of the ordinary for doing those. Same with.
But we wouldn't know that.
No, but either way, we wouldn't necessarily know that. But the point being is we could keep it or use it. We may not want to use it for the 2 hide or not, because we have this one here, which is a organ and bone or hide. So we technically use like this, an organ and a bone, and still get that to go off.
Gotcha.
To still get the innovation. And that is from this small list. This will grow each time. So once we innovate, we'll grab it. But then when we get new actual, like, in future turns, we'll get stuff other than language, which I don't know what those things are exactly. But as we do, we'll take other things out of the innovation deck and put them into here. And so then we could get either one of those things. And then that deck just gets bigger and bigger and bigger over time.
Yep.
So I'm in touch. I mean, this seems like a no-brainer. We should do this because we've got tons of organs to make different things with.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is also some of the weakest junk because it's mostly just stuff. It's not actually weapons or armor.
Just but is this used to make anything else, this stuff?
Well, not so much that it's used specifically to make. It does help stuff. Like each one of these things helps do, like add other things. Whether it's like the fecal salve, if I remember correctly, makes it so that you're not going to be targeted by anything because you've rubbed feces on yourself, and so you're not known as being an enemy. Mm-hmm. And so are some of these the Dryad Acanthus is a healing thing that heals actual wounds and stuff. The lecture now. One other thing to know.
These also can go on, right? Still in circles, so later on you can build it up, but you have to have this first.
Right.
Okay.
This allows for that building to even be built. Without this, you couldn't get that. And then you could build it. You'd have to have an endeavor to give up, and then 3 organ and 1 hide to do that. Now, the other thing to look at is to see these little item cards that have like the blues and the reds and the greens. Mm-hmm. When you lay out your item cards, the future item cards will have those like specific blues and greens and whatever else. When they line up with each other, they create like a synergy bonus potentially. Mm-hmm. But also some items say if you have like a blue and a green connected, they give you a bonus as well. So there's a bunch of
any of this in here.
Yeah.
Or are we supposed to go in blindly?
No, we're supposed to go in blind. It does not explain any of that at this
Yeah,
part.
yeah, but literally the next section talks about the
Yeah.
idea of that you're. I don't know what even the specifics are. I mean, I don't have it memorized like that. I'm just saying that those are things that would
I'm
happen.
just thinking, should we know all this?
Right. Or is it spoilers?
Or is it spoilers? Are you spoiling it for us?
No, because
No, I think
immediately,
it's explaining.
because as soon as you go out and you do, there's nothing says you can't look up what they are. You have the ability to look at the thing. It's not like it's random and you pick out one.
Yeah.
They all of the same rawhide vests do the same thing.
Well, I say we for sure do the organ grinder because we have a lot of organs out of our resources.
Yeah.
And then really it just depends on whether or not we can do. We technically have up to 3 hides or 2 bones. So I guess it would
The
depend on whether or
recommendation
not
from the book was to build all 3.
yeah.
Yes.
Why not just do the recommendation?
I would say we build all 3, and then we have 1 to.
Or do we build 2 and then try to have a baby and try to innovate?
Why are babies important?
Because that's how you increase your population.
Here's what happens. Let's say the next
Right.
round. So you're not going to go out next round. We're going to pick one of these random people out of the group, and that person will become a full-fledged person. If 3 of our people die next round, those 3 are removed from the sheet, and we would take 3 more, but it reduces our overall population possibilities.
So we
See,
want to
that's
start
why.
having babies.
Yeah,
as soon
you
as
So
want-
I would
Though to be honest,
So I would do the
anything
organ
could
grinder.
happen.
I would have Josh's character do it because he has the understanding, which makes this roll better.
Does it?
Yes. And it
only if it's
doesn't in
3 or
this case,
higher.
but it has the potential to give him more understanding.
Mm.
So I would have Josh's character do this because
Yeah.
later on 3 or higher makes
Right.
it so
Yes.
it's better.
Yeah, 3 higher.
So-
Yeah.
I can agree. I think we can skip out on the bonesmith for now. We
Yeah.
can probably do the organ grinder, the skinnery,
Yep, I'm good with that.
do the augury,
Yep.
and then an
An
innovation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be adverse to the idea of trading this in for 3 hides because that gives us more items now,
Okay.
and then going for something else. I'm just okay. So we're going to do the skinnery in this. That's 2.
Okay.
Okay. So then, do we want to try the augury then from there before we do anything else to see whether or not the intimacy
Yeah.
goes
Josh.
up? Because that's a random.
Try to augury.
So you're gonna
Alright,
roll
so what
one
does he do?
d10.
Okay.
He rolls a d10.
Yeah,
Yep.
use an innovation.
The
for
survivor
it.
endeavors to
Yep.
glean the meaning of existence. Roll on the table. Add +1 to your rules if your understanding is 3 or higher.
It's not, unfortunately. So go ahead.
6.
So get a 6. So 4 to 7, gain +1 survival.
So
Nothing.
yeah. So you would have gained a survival. It doesn't do anything else. That's all.
So
that we
what
get
would
from
I've
it.
had to
An
get
8 or more to get intimacy.
Or if you would have got a 1 to 3, you actually would have got the plus understanding, which would have been good.
Right. Right. That wouldn't hurt either.
That would have been
Okay.
intimacy.
Yeah, that would have been great. Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
So then we can do the innovation.
Does
You may want to
everybody
jump
have
to the
any-
innovation section on there. There, if you
It says they also spend the remaining endeavor in 3 resources in general. Doesn't have to be 1 of each. To innovate, or does it say?
This says once per settlement phase, you may spend the listed resources, which is all 4.
Okay.
should draw 2 innovation cards, keep
Keep
1 and
one.
return the other.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So then I guess we want to do that next.
So we only have 1
Innovate.
hide. So I say we turn that into the multiple hides.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
How
So
many-
Well,
get-
why?
So that we don't just waste the 1 hide, we can turn it into more than 1 hide.
it's either 1 hide on its own or it's 2, but it's only the
Gotcha.
shimmer. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that'll be 1. We'll get rid of 1 of these and then 1 bone, and then that'll lead it. So we'll still
That's
have 1
technically a
left.
hide, yeah.
Right.
Still. Okay.
So
we get 2 of these.
yep. So draw the top 2,
Does it
Joe.
matter which organ? Because some of them are
It's-
special things.
Yeah, this is if you consume the archive this card, roll 1d10. The result is 6 or plus, you contract a parasite. So that's not necessarily a positive.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say this one does nothing. but
Yeah,
it doesn't
Okay.
matter, I guess.
we're gonna probably use them either
Okay.
way.
Okay, so we have 2 choices here: the hovel or drums. The hovel makes the survival limit +1, so it would be at
Right.
2 max.
And it also, I think, helps in intimacy or childbearing or something like that later on. I think.
Settlement accepts this nightmarish landscape as their home. Departing survivors will gain +1 survival the rest of the game.
Nice.
So that's good because there's not normally you don't get survival back. So add hovel consequences to the innovation deck. The other one is drums. For an innovation, you can do, or an endeavor, you can do bone beats and select one. You drum alone and gain +2 sanity. You do rhythmic trance, gain +2 survival, or you gain rhythmic chaser fighting art or synchronized strike secret fighting art. And then
So-
we add the drum consequences
Yeah.
to the innovation
So
deck.
that would give several different things, as possibilities aside from
I
that.
say we do the other one that benefits everyone every time.
I think the hovel's pretty good.
Yeah. but it does say hovel consequences, so there might be something bad to it.
Everything
They're
has
always
consequences.
the consequences are more things that get added into this, so that they're more. So what's going to happen is the next time we pull, I'll grab the hovel ones, and then the hovel will go in there. We'll shuffle them all together. When we innovate, it could be a language innovation
So
or a
then
hovel
bump
innovation.
up to 2 now.
So we should have
When
done that
we leave, we
maybe.
will.
Oh, when we leave. Okay.
Well, we'll get one extra.
Because of this.
Right.
Every time we leave now, we'll at least have one survival going out.
So since if we have one now, then we'll have 2.
Yes.
Because 2 is now our max.
Yes. 2 is now our max. So that is good because that gives us more chances to dodge.
Yeah.
More
And
chances
or
to
the encourage thing, yeah.
And then there's more later on, like dash and surge. Surge will let you attack twice in a turn, which can be huge, especially if you have good weapons and stuff. But we'll get there. Okay.
Do we create shit
Now we
too
will
now?
craft gear. New settlement locations allow survivors to spend the resources to craft gear. Gear is listed on each location along with its cost, and resources are
Are
spent
we
to
all the
craft
way
gear.
over here now? To 8?
What are the
Yes.
principles? What is?
Those are principles we get, like, when we first have a child, we decide how we want to raise children.
You know
What's a
what?
principle and stuff like that.
I'm missing my principles. My principles are not in my deck. I'm almost for sure.
Cool.
I didn't get those cards at all.
Huh.
Because I looked twice. I got to double check that they're not in my innovation deck, but
Okay.
I think that they are missing.
Where does it say what's the hovel? Does it just say at the top? Is that where it says
Yeah,
it?
if you
Okay.
look right underneath
Yeah,
there,
I
it
see
says,
that.
and it's
Okay.
not the first one; it's the second part of it. Because there's
Ah.
home ones that are other and like
Hovel
that.
consequence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these
Ooh.
other consequences. These are the things.
So okay, just because we're doing the innovation thing, so like this rawhide drum requires us to have the drums
right,
in order to make it.
right,
Ah,
right.
Okay.
Right, as an
I
example.
don't know what it does, but
Me either,
Okay.
yeah.
it could be cool.
Okay. Yeah, that could be.
Can we look that crap up before we decide on the hovel? I mean, the hovel's probably gonna go with the hovel either way. I'm just curious.
I'm pretty sure the drums give a bonus to
Attack or something, I would imagine.
no, something else that they do. It is under Skinnery, yes.
Rawhide drum. On arrival, all survivors gain +1 insanity, inspirational drumming. When you perform encourage, all non-death survivors are affected. So you encourage everyone instead of just one person.
Okay.
And everyone gets an
The
insanity.
survival's probably better.
You just boom, boom, like coming up to attack, and it's a giant lion.
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
this, guys. So these are all the rawhide stuff that we can build at the Skinnery. And what's the organ grinder? What's some of the things there? Like
Stone
fecal?
noses, fecal salve.
Yeah, let's figure out the organ grinder first, because we have the most of that, I guess. Because we only have 1 hide. Potentially 2.
Here it is. So, fecal salve, when you depart, gain +1 survival. You are not a threat until you attack for an action you can spend. You are not a threat until you attack. If you have the priority target token, remove it. So you can remove the...
What's the lucky charm do?
+1 luck.
All right, but that's only if you get the double blues.
Yes.
Right, so you have to have 2 of those.
Yes.
So
So you'd have to have like fecal salve
salve,
ammo.
and then
yes.
yes.
Could you
and
have
then
2 lucky charms?
Yes. You could, I believe.
what does it say under lucky charm itself? Like right under.
Item jewelry.
Okay. All right.
There is monster grease. That is +1 evasion. If you have 3 greens, I'm guessing that means you get an
Yeah.
extra evasion.
Yes.
What
Which
is
means
evasion?
you're harder to hit then.
Evasion is you reduce your to hit is 1 more.
And
than
that's just a
whatever it is.
constant?
Yeah.
So you gain 1 strength
Yes.
just having it. If you have 2 reds, you gain another strength
Wow.
Right.
for the monster
Right.
tooth necklace. And then there's stone noses, which is on arrival, gain
Can't
+1
make those.
survival, +1. Okay.
Yeah, they take an endeavor to make.
It's almost worth having 3 monster crease.
It's not bad.
They're pretty decent.
Because the lucky charm, we would have to have. only one of us would be able to benefit
Technically,
from it.
we have 4. We actually have 4 total organs possible, so we could actually all have one. One.
False.
Of
There's
those.
only 3. You can only. I'm guessing you can't craft past the limit. There's only 3 of each item.
Oh, for some reason I thought there was 4 of those.
Well, you
when
can
I
put
looked them up.
a lucky charm next to a fecal salve. So,
Yeah, we could do that. We could have a lucky charm and a fecal salve, and then that way they get the +1.
but even if we had 4, only
It
2.
doesn't count like that. Like, just I thought you'd have to have it connect on both sides. Like 2.
No.
squares completed.
It's. I don't think it's the. Well, I don't know. What is it? It says 2 completed squares. Is that
It's
what it
got
says?
2
on the-
blue +1 luck. Otherwise,
Look
you
in
get
the
nothing
book
from
and just
it.
double check because I haven't gotten far enough where I've actually had much of that to actually go off. So it should be in the very. It's like next page or 2 pages after.
Doesn't matter. They're not the same color.
Well, the fecal salve and the
Yeah.
Lucky Charms are, but
And
I thought fecal salve was green.
no,
Fecal salve's blue.
the other ones.
The monster grease is green.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The monster grease, which gives
Go on.
everybody a +1 for sure.
Go on.
Well, +1 evasion, yeah.
Pass that whole section. Oh, there it is. Yep.
some gear cards have red, blue, or green half squares. If a half square is adjacent to another half square of the same color that completes the square, they form one affinity. Affinity requirements are indicated by a number of. Okay, so like this one takes 2. You must have the affinities.
Okay, so
The rule specifies a game bonus. Okay, for instance, the +1 luck bonus on a Lucky Charm gear card has a requirement of 2 blue affinities, so 2 complete squares. So
Gotcha.
if you had that, it doesn't even have to be a part of it. You just get that.
Oh, gotcha.
Right, but if it but you can use it as one of the parts.
You can, yes.
You could, yes.
So I say we make 3 monster grease then.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we can. And what can we make at the Skinnery?
Most things.
So,
Everything except the whipper drum.
Okay, so most things give 1 armor, and
To
if
that
you
location.
some of them have blue on them.
Oh, true. I didn't think about that.
I like that headband.
The headband says, as an action, reveal the top 2 AI cards and place them on the top of the deck in any order.
So in other words, it gives you the opportunity as instead of doing reactions, doing
But
an
it does
attack.
have to be connected to a blue for that to work.
Right, I'm just saying. But,
So you would have to have the headband and the rawhide vest for that to work. One person would.
But,
Because those are the only things
Yeah,
that have.
and we only have 2.
right.
So probably what you do is get the 3 things, and then the other person would get the 1 rawhide thing by himself. I'm
Or the
assuming.
gloves.
Well, we have enough to do 2 rawhide things.
When you depart
because
game
this
one
could be
survival.
used as a hide as well, so we could technically do.
And if you
And,
have
and technically, we could do one of the other
the
things for
headband, the
other
gloves, and
pieces.
the chest, then you could slot them all together, and the chest would give you +1 evasion as well.
What do bandages do? I know you need a blue and a green, but
They have a blue and a green on them, so that you don't need them for them to work. For an action, remove up to 2 bleed tokens from yourself or an adjacent survivor.
Right. Which
If
bleed
you get
is
5 bleed tokens, you die instantly.
yeah. And we are more likely in the next scenario to have bleed, but it's not
I don't know
for
if you're
sure.
gonna get 5. That seems, I don't know. But we never know how unlucky.
How does
you
that
can be.
evasion, or how does evasion work, or whatever?
Evasion increases what the monster needs to hit you. So
Right.
each evasion you have increases it by 1.
Okay.
are the items like community items?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Basically,
everything's
So
so
every
they
time
can
we
be done
come
Yeah,
back,
whenever.
yeah, we
Okay.
can redistribute them.
Yeah.
Or if someone dies, you bring them back.
Yeah, you don't lose items unless.
So I do say we make
play
3
with it.
monster grease because that's the best bang for the buck for the organs we have.
Probably the 1 evasion is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monster.
Yeah.
So
Get
takes
those
care
out.
of those 3.
Right.
So we have 2 hides and a broken lantern left, or 1
Something.
hide and a 1 anything.
Yeah.
And then I kind of agree with Josh. I think it'd be worth getting the vest and the headband and maybe giving those to 1 person to have that ability.
Yeah. How much does that just take? 2 hides?
Yeah.
Yeah, we take 2 to
You guys agree?
The person that doesn't get that.
What is the okay? What does the gloves and the vest say as far as the red side?
The vest does not give you anything unless you have both sides slotted, the blue and the red on it.
Okay, so it doesn't give you
The
extra
rawhide
number.
gloves don't need anything slotted with them to work.
Well, the vest gives you something because it gives you 1 armor.
1 armor, that's it
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yes. Yep. To get the evasion, you need both
Right.
the
right.
red and the
So
blue.
how does armor affect? Like if you're hit in the waist, does armor
You,
reduce?
that's the
Yes.
first. That's the first. That
So the
first
person that has
one
the
doesn't count.
headband and the chest piece would get a chest armor and a head armor.
Or, to be honest, since we're so early in the game, we might not use that ability compared to just attacking. So we might want to do 2 rawhide vests, because that's 1 armor to your chest, which is the highest area to hit.
Right.
That ability is still pretty strong because the thing is if you know that if you get the guy down to a certain point where let's say that we had gotten that guy down to a point where we knew there was like say just a couple of AI cards and one of them was awful. It's going to tear us up every time it comes through. You can actually you could use your action to avoid that AI card from coming up because you keep shuffling it down at least for a couple extra turns. So it could potentially be very strong in that respect. I'm not saying it's a requirement.
Yeah.
I was just pointing out that I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, and plus the other thing about it is it's head armor. So if you look, what's the
It's
one place that
weakest.
doesn't have 2 pieces
Yeah.
is the head.
Mhm.
So it might even be worth doing 2 head armors just to give the extra head armors to 2 different people. Even though it doesn't give us an affinity of any sort, just having that extra head armor could make a big difference. Oh, by the way, all of our check boxes are
Oh
all
yeah,
removed.
we're completely healed.
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
come back.
And if you lost your armor was brought back. So.
Yes.
So my brain insanity.
That's
checkbox.
yep. That checkbox is removed. Yes.
So I keep my insanity that I have.
Whatever insanity level you have, you keep between rounds. Yes. Yeah, which is actually good.
Yeah.
Technically.
So 2 headbands or 1 headband and chest on 1 person.
Or 2 vests.
Or
two
or 2
heads.
vests or 2 heads.
Yes.
2 vests, 2 heads, or a pair.
Yeah.
I don't foresee us using that ability a ton in the very next one, but I don't know this game at all.
I mean, what does the pair give us?
It gives us that ability to look at the top
Ability to
2,
look at the top 2 of the AI deck.
but that's an action.
Yeah, it's your action.
No,
It's-
I mean, what does it pair with the chest piece or whatever?
That's what
it
it.
hits the top of the chest piece, and
that's what gives you
when
the
you
ability.
pair
to
it,
look at
you
that.
then get that ability.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Gotcha.
If it's not
I
paired,
mean,
you can't
I
use
would be
that.
just as good if we wanted to give 2 head pieces, so that way we have the extra armor on our heads, since
Yeah.
it's our most vulnerable spot. But it's up to you guys.
But it's 1 out of 6 to hit that.
Well,
Yeah, 1
Yeah.
out of 6.
Your head,
Yeah.
Or it's a third of the chance to hit your
chest.
chest. But we already have an extra hit on the chest.
No, you don't already have it.
Well, compared to the head,
waist.
you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You already have an extra hit on the chest. Yes, in that respect. Yes.
But it's a double, so it's like 1 and 1.
I'd rather do 2 the same so we have extra protection. And if you guys want to do the head instead, then that's fine.
So like 2 heads or 2 chests, you mean?
headbands?
Yeah. That would
Yeah,
be my preference.
I think the 2 headbands are the way to go.
Okay.
All right. So we have just the broken lantern left for our resources.
Right. And these all actually get shuffled back, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm assuming all these, the founding stones and the cloths go in the middle.
They would, but technically, if we were gonna do another adventure
Yeah.
right away, then we would just
Was
literally.
Bonesmith the other option? Would that have let us build weapons?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but we only had 2. We only had 2 bones total,
Yeah, I guess,
and we
yeah.
used one of them to get an innovation.
True.
So it would have been, do we do that or we do the other?
Right. Okay.
So now in our gear, you need to write down our total gears. So we have monster grease 3.
Did it come with that binder?
No.
Now I'm curious to see how well he likes the binder. I'm not using a binder of any sort. So rawhide headband 2. Cloth 4.
Just called cloth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And founding
Coin.
stones 3.
Coin.
Coin.
Coin one.
Exactly. And you already wrote down the broken lantern, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that goes back there. And those would go back into their appropriate deck spot.
How long's
spots
the
and things.
next thing I'm playing?
It would be the exact same thing. The only difference is in the next one. Hold on 1 second.
Well, I guess we need to finish this.
I
right?
can't. because
We're already at the point where we would stop now
Okay.
if we were going
So
any further.
so the next thing is prepare departing, record and archive resources.
So what we do is instead, if we were going to do another one, we would choose who was going out. We would create the new character for him to play, or whoever was going to play that 4th character. And then what we would do is we would set up this track with some cards that are from the lion itself and from any hunt. We would start at one end. The lion would be here. We would move 1 space. We would reveal this card and then take the appropriate actions in the card. Those actions might make the lion move further away or move closer to us. When we catch up to the lion, that's when we would actually go out here and take on the fight. But they could eventually actually get all the way away.
So it's
and
like
we'd
we're
actually-
hunting the lion.
Exactly.
And it can get away, and then we remove
Right.
any 5 resources.
If you look on this, once it gets further down the line, currently our only quarry is the white lion. But in future rounds, once we've gone back to the village, we will get the opportunity to then have the screaming antelope as a quarry, and we would choose what we would go out and fight each turn, unless we chose. Later would be the phoenix, but no matter what, if you look down this list here, in the 5th lantern year, or in the 4th lantern year, you always have a nemesis encounter with the butcher, so you never go out on the hunt, and you always fight the...
I haven't built him yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. The butcher, I've got him, so that's why I just assumed. You fight the butcher, who... The butcher is so much stupider and harder than anything the first 3 fights that you fight.
Should we stop the...
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, we're gonna be done at this point. We're hoping to do
Yes.
another one at the next soonest possibility. We will let everybody know. Hope you enjoyed this stream.
Yes.
Good job, Steve.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
job.
Nice.
Like, subscribe.
She'll like,
Return.
subscribe.